Welcome back as we continue to build a Roman-inspired village. So since you were last here, we placed 3 more housing blocks close to the river. These will have small gardens where we can do vegetables and chickens. Also found a way to get another house on the side of this hill. I think it's going to be tricky dealing with this valley and a lot of trial and error to get our buildings into it. So moving away from our village, it's now time to put down our hunting camp. We need to start pulling in more food types to improve our happiness and our overall approval rating. This is how we're going to get more villagers, families, and really start improving our village and start getting to where we need to be. Now going back over to the village, I'm going to put down the tavern. We don't have the manpower for it yet, but at least it'll be in place in the future. We have the lumber, might as well. It'll help the happiness once it's built and filled with people. I'm going to keep it on our main street. That's where I'm going to try to put any of our commercial or industrial buildings. It kind of keeps under our Roman philosophy where the businesses and stuff would be on the main road. The next thing I'm going to build is the saw pit. We need this for the planks, which is required for buildings such as the church and the manor. After that, we're going to wait a little bit and wait for things to build up and start mapping out our fields. This game recommends they be around 1 Morgan starting out, so that's what we'll do. Since we have so much farmable land, I want to do as many little fields as I can, and then try to rotate them to keep the fertility score up. I now want to put down the farmhouse, since that is the only way to actually farm the land. I originally thought about placing this out towards the farms, but then I was thinking this is where the crops will be stored, so it'll be better close to the village itself. We'll see how this works and if we need to move it in the future. Since we were still low on the number of families we have, and with only one being able to build, there's a lot of sitting and waiting. But luckily, with editing, you get to skip to the end. So just like that, we are now a small village with our first development point. We've also received a delivery of arms from the king, but I hope we don't need it anytime soon. Going through our development options, the only one that makes sense to me is the heavy plow. This will let us use our oxen to plow the fields instead of doing it all by hand. Heading back to the village, I'm going to add 2 more housing plots. It's a lot of planning for the future, as once we get our happiness up, I hope we can attract a lot more families. Now I'm going to assign a family to the trading post. Without a family there, we cannot do any trading, and I really want to start this so we can get some income and possibly some more food types. This will help with our village overall approval rating and our happiness and just get more people into the village. We're going to start by exporting some of the berries that we have right now because we have a lot. Skipping our way into the future, it's now November, and we have enough planks to put down the church. If you remember from our original building plan, this will be connected to the market square with the manor on the south side. And as we wait, winter is here, but I think we'll be fine. We have plenty of firewood, so let's just sit back and watch our chapel be constructed. And before you know it, we're already in February. The snow has started to melt, and though today we get a worrying message. There are raiders that are targeting our village, and they will be here in 365 days. I think it's finally time that we assign a family to farming. But this might be risky, as it's already April, and I don't think they'll have enough time to plant and harvest. We will just have to wait and see what happens. We've built up quite a supply of firewood, so I'm going to start exporting this as well. Hopefully we can have enough income that we can hire mercenaries if we get attacked. I'm also going to establish a trade route. For this only costs 2 coins, so I'm going to go ahead and get that set up as it gives us a guaranteed export. I think it's now time to add more housing. Since this is on the outskirts and close to the river, I'm going to make these large plots as well. This gives us a good place where we can build up additional resources such as the vegetables and chickens, and we'll see what else houses can do for us later on. Looking back over at our farmhouse, I'm starting to think this needs guaranteed help, so I'm going to permanently assign the ox here. This does restrict it from helping anywhere else, but I think it's a good choice at the moment in time. As you can see, our first field is only half planted, and it's already June. I really think this will fail, but only time will tell. And finally, our stonecutter is completed. It's only been a year since we initially planned this building, so now we can start cutting stone, which will be needed for the manor. And just like that, now it's time to put down our manor. This will go on the southern side of the market following our Roman philosophy, and this is the administrative building of manor lords. By doing this, we also unlock the castle planner. I think we'll need to play with this quite a bit to get what we want out of it, as it seems to have a lot of potential. There's a lot of things I can do with the walls, towers, garrisons, etc. So we'll see how it goes. And in a blink of an eye, our manor is complete. With this, we can now start taxing our population. My goal is to try to keep this relatively low because I want to continue to attract families. So what we end up with is a 4% land tax and a 4% tithe. I'm not sure if the tithe actually goes to us, but I'm going to assume it can be reinvested into the village. And I think that's where we'll end it for today. We've gone through a year into the future and we are in September of our second year. With 44 villagers and 13 families, and we were really starting to get on a roll. Our next task will be to figure out where we are going to construct our castle and finish our preparation for the raiders. Please leave a comment if there's anything I can do better. This channel is a work in progress and I'm learning every day, and whatever you say does make a difference. Thank you for watching, and until next time.